This is a brief tutorial on how to build your sewer inspection template and then what it looks like on report output. To begin with, you have your template name. This does not show up anywhere on the report. This is just so you know which template to select from. Say if you have a residential, commercial, say if it's a multi-unit template, that should go here. Over here, if you need a file number prefix, right here I have mine set to LV Sewer Inspections 2026. And then you can see that that's put out. This is the 15th report we've put out with Sewer Labz. And this will just keep ticking. The next one will be 16, 17, and so on. If you don't fill this out, you can just fill it out per report that you generate. Next is company branding. So I have the standard tab selected, which this is a little bit compressed since I'm doing 2-panel screen, but this is how my logo appears. You can do a circular logo, you can do more square with hard right angles, but you just drag and drop your logo there, crop it, trim it down, play with it a little bit. Very easy to do. Since my logo is very dominant in my company name, it's not hard to find. I chose to leave that blank. Otherwise, that would appear right here. Tagline, don't let your dream be a pain, phone number, website, key data, and information to get a hold of me. And then date inspected, that will populate later on in the report. Going over these colors, the header background is going to be everything in this area. So I have it as white. Header text is kind of like a pipe gray. These are hex codes, by the way. So use AI, Google, whatever, get your brand's hex codes and plug them in here. So this is just the color scheme for the wording here. Accent, you see that I have two blues. It just goes from a light to a darker blue. So it's very mild and very subtle. And that will be throughout the report. Logo background, I just have mine set as white. Otherwise, this would be a rectangular background. It could have been black. It just looks best with it being white. This is going to be very situational depending on your logo. Next is the PDF footer. This will appear throughout on every page. And this is fully customizable. And you can see how that looks on the report outlet or output, sorry. The table of contents, TOC, is pretty standard. It's going to update depending on how many pipe conditions or defects you report on. But all this will autofill as need be. Next thing we have is your sewer line inspection disclosure. I've changed mine since generating this report. So this is very tailored to fit my business versus just generalized. This shows what the report and template with Sewer Labz can do. Fully customizable. You can delete the whole section. You can change the name. You can even add additional ones. So last one there, instead of point of reference, I moved it to orientation and directional guide. Just my preference. And then statement of service. Here you see that there's the box within and there's a line here. So this tells you that this section is coming after the meat and potatoes of the report. So that comes later in the report at the end in case you want to recap anything or disclaimers or whatnot. And you can add sections down here as well. So just something to think about. Pretty easy and straightforward, fully customizable to meet what you need to match your brand. We believe in white brand labeling. Next, enable severity classification. So here's your severity classification framework. So this will auto-populate, and so will this no defect, minor defect, moderate, major, suggest maintenance. And it's all color-coded with the headers. You don't have to use those. I have everything enabled. Show pipe materials reference page. If that's selected, it will auto-generate at the end. So there's the reference page, and this just gives, hey, PVC should last between 50 and 500 years. Cast iron, 75 to 100. and so on. Show inspector bio page. There's the inspector bio page. So you can design this however you would like. And this is through the inspector tab over here. So you go to inspectors, and then you can edit it all through here. So I include my license numbers, key attributes, what makes our company different, stuff like that. This is the sample report you guys see on Sewer Labz website. Then we're back to template creation. Severity classification framework, we already talked about that. Sorry. So this enable severity classification on defects is this one, and then include severity classification framework page. That's here. And again, all these narratives and field examples are totally definable right here within template generation. So you get to define these. What somebody else might consider a minor defect could be somebody else's moderate defect. What's a moderate defect could be somebody else's major defect, depending on which SOPs you follow. And include common sewer defect graphic and report. I had this built through a Fiverr Pro. Fiverr's not a bad service if you need it, but I don't know how to do graphic design or anything like this. I had it updated a little bit. So you can choose to include that or not include that. Some people don't like it's very illustrative. So that's up to each and every user. If you choose not to have that there, it will just go right into your inspector bio. Or if you don't choose to have an inspector bio, that's going to be the end of the report right after understanding sewer materials and defects. So next, we have field options. So you can add inspectors under the inspector page, but if it's me, these are my drop downs that I want. So people present, if I want to edit, I need to expand the screen real quick. Sorry, y'all. If I want to edit, I click on the pen or pencil. These are my current options. And say if I wanted to add HVAC tech, then it's that simple. If I want to add plumbing contractor, you can do that. And then boom, it's saved and it will come up on the drop downs. So click on the pencil, temperature differences. I live in Las Vegas, so it doesn't ever really get down below 30 degrees here. I could add it just as easily if I wanted to do 20 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know how to do degrees Fahrenheit. My developer did that, so I'll just copy paste that. It's a judgment-free zone, gentlemen and ladies. Judgment-free zone. Click the pencil and it goes back. You can edit cleanout sizes, cleanout location, camera's direction. So say if you're doing a commercial building, or say if you do multi-branches, you can delineate that from here very easily. Defect condition type, we auto-populate a lot of these with the same information that I use, but we want to make it truly customizable so you can fully delete the ones that we suggest and add to them as well. So trying to speed the report writing process, corrective actions. I know everybody's very particular on how they recommend the line get serviced or repairs. So I left that one blank, but here's all the ones I pretty much use. And if I ever get into a report and I remember that, oh, I haven't used this one in a while, but I want to add it, you just come back down to templates and add it, and it will be there next time. So there's always a notes section at the end of each section on the report when you generate it. So say if you would just want to cover all, see additional note below, and then I would semicolon it so they know. And then once you are done and happy with your template, you just click save, and all those changes you did will apply on the next report output. So create new report, I want to use LV Super Inspections. I'm not doing the sample report for Sewer Labz website. So I'm actually working on my business. Uh, you can always change branding. It's not auto selected because it should be formulated based on the template you built. But say if you want to change anything, you can. You just select company branding, and you can change all this information to whatever you want it. Say if you want different logos, different colors, you can do that. But anyhow, cover photo, so that should be a picture of the house, facility, structure, whatever you're inspecting. If you need to change the numbering system, you can do it here. Client name, property address, and actually, let me bring this back to half and half so you can see how this does populate. So there's inspection number, date, time inspected, address. We did do a 2-box address, so main chunk and then followed up by state, city, and zip if you want to include all that. Don't have to. Buyer's agent, that's on the output down here. So client and site information. Not, you don't have to put it, and just put non-applicable, whatever you want. Occupancy status. Everything's very easy. This suggests today's date, not a date from August 8th of 2016. Hour, months, quick little buttons for AM, PM. If you're a multi-inspector firm, we are not at LV Super Inspections. It's just me, so I'll always select me. But if you're a multi-inspector firm, you can click who did the inspection. And remember, that will change their pre-selects or their quick selects boxes. People present. Again, we added the HVAC tech and plumbing contractor. But say even if there's somebody new, what else could be out there? Say it's a sheetrock guy. I don't know. Boom, you can sit there and add that. Enter, and boom, it adds it in. So very customizable, very situational, and you still don't lose your drop downs, and you can list multiple people. Weather conditions, again, anything that has a drop box, you can add and select, add, delete within that template generation. As promised, you have additional notes at the end of every section. I understand this template might not fit everybody's needs, so hopefully the additional notes section catches any oddball items or requests that we might not have captured. So yeah, I'm not gonna go fill that all out, but next we go to location, camera, entry. Where's it at? Is it the kitchen, the home? Is it through the roof? Clean out size. Here in Vegas, we don't get too many differential clean out sizes. I'd imagine depending on which region you're in. Will depend if you get a bunch of different clean out sizes. And then the clean out material. So all these would have been auto-populated in your templates, and then you can just reduce them or add to them. I don't think I missed any. If I did, let me know, and I'll add them to everybody's template. Again, clean out access notes in case you have any notes that you want to put about the clean out access. Say if the cap's loose and you don't want to report it as a defect or an informational note, whatever it may be. Again, you always have an additional notes section. So materials encountered. Often we'll encounter ABS, PVC, clay, cast. You can list every type of material. You can even list all of them, and it's going to populate. One thing we did fix is, you see how this isn't centered? My OCD would not tolerate that, so I had the developers go back in, and now when you output a report, this will be centered correctly. So it's already in work, being fixed for my fellow OCD people. So sewer system photos. I always like to list a couple photos. Normally I'll give them a photo of the house, and then I'll walk them in to where the clean out is. Sometimes it's in a box here in Vegas, sometimes it's not, but I'm just basically helping them walk down where the clean out is. I built this for one direction or two directions. If we need more directions, I can add more, but with a two-way clean out, I don't know how we're going more directions, so maybe that's oversight on my part. Maybe I'm only cherry picking to what I see here in Las Vegas, but yeah. Direction label. So am I going to clean out the city connection? I'll click that and then say if I complete that run, then I want to turn the camera 180 degrees or the other direction of the two-way clean out, and I want to go into the building's drain system. Then you can do total footage, which video link are you using. So if you're using a video link, you put the name here. So just for simplicity, say it's video 1 and www.youtube.com. And then start time, end time, because maybe I want to call this one video 2 and it's the same URL. But maybe I want to change this from, instead of this being 00, you can tab out of these boxes to say it's 10 minutes. It took me 10 minutes to do the first section. And then from 10:30 to 18:45 is the second portion of the video. Actually, I guess video 1, video 2 is kind of confusing. So building drain versus, I'm just using abbreviations just because I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. So clean out to city and then building drain. So it can be the same URL and the same video, but broken out in different sections. So say if the first one we did go 85 feet, boom, you should see that clean out to city connection. So they know they're only viewing the first 10 minutes if they have any questions or problems there. For building drain, say we only went out 28 feet on that one. Boom, building drain. Kind of makes it pretty easy. As promised, additional notes section to make things easier for everybody. And that would come down right in this area. So you can see if you do a link, this is what it's going to look like. I do have the coders developing or making this a clickable, like blue URL hyperlink. So that is coming. Patience, please, as we work through this. There's a language and culture barrier, but these boas are getting after it for sure. So you can either click next to go to the next section, or you can use your header here. So pipe condition. So I have severity classification framework selected, and it selected. So if it's a no defect, you simply click no defect. It's color coded, pretty easy. But say if I want to do major defect, all these are pre-done drop downs. You can click other, or say, hey, joints are performing as designed, intended, no defect. Okay, no defect. And that was at the first minute, 30 seconds of the video, 6 feet out. Additional notes, whatever you want to type in here. I think this is limited to 500 characters, if I remember. Brevity is key, so I kind of wanted to keep the format consistent. If you can't explain what you need in 500 characteristics of a text box, I suggest working brevity, or maybe get some AI help on reducing the defect narrative. Drag and drop photos, pretty easy to do. I don't know if I have any ready to go right now. I don't. I always clear out my folders, but yeah, just drag and drop, and this is what they will look like. I do snippets as I'm going through watching the videos, or print screens, so I get all my information: date, time, footage, and then yeah, pretty simple, pretty easy. And a report, even simpler. So corrective actions, I have mine populated. All these drop downs are Smartbox enabled or Smart Text enabled. So say if I only want to pull up things with plumber in them, or say it's PL, it's only going to give me options. Boom, there's plumbing contractor. Say if I want to talk about a hydrojet, boom, it's going to bring up everything with HY. What is HY down? Oh, hydraulically. Okay. What else? Recommend. Anything with rec will come up. So all of them are smart boxes. It doesn't matter where you go. Even if I go here and say if I want to do grease, boom. Fats, oils, grease, I call it fog within pipe. There you go. So we designed this to be as easy as possible. And then end of report summary. This is your section to do free notes. Again, 500 characteristics. And then the biggest thing is you have to hit mark complete or mark as complete before it will put out a PDF or create a PDF. So just for example, view, this is the one we just did. See how I do generating PDF? It's not going to because it's not marked complete yet. So this is the error you will get. So if that's the error, you go into edit, and it's not going to let me mark complete right now because I don't have the blocks filled out. But once you hit mark complete, you'll be able to generate that. So this one's already PDF enabled because it's already marked complete. See, marked complete, and then you can generate a PDF, no problem. It's generating, and then you can download it. Boom. Thank you for your time. Any questions or concerns, please reach out. Hopefully this wasn't too confusing. Very reachable, www.support@sewerlabz.com. Let me just take you through the dashboard. So how many reports you did, your current reports that are in queue. We just started switching over. I was using an Excel document, but this is much neater and cleaner. So if you're a multi-inspector firm, very easy, just add a new inspector, fill out your information. You can see how I did mine. Subscription, you manage your subscription from here. Settings, if you want to change your password, you can do that. And then support, I created a ticket. You can create a new support ticket and I will try to get to you, answer your question, work through your problem with you, etc. And then this video is going to pop up in this guide right here. It might be edited, condensed, and there might also be a PDF or some type of print to go along with this as a user guide to help people out. All right, thank you.